just finished up wiring the pump, and I've still got a few little odds and ends to do. But we went from almost spring-like temperatures here in Maine back to winter. 22 degrees, 15-degree wind chill. The wind is howling outside. It's going to be like that at least for the next 5 to 7 days. So I won't be putting this in the water soon. Ironically, the ice went out a month early. Strange weather. But this is just about done. Before I put it in the water, I'm going to have to take everything off that's removable and tip it on its side and slide it out the door. And then outside, I need to put the poles up and put my brackets on to put the bimini top on. And that'll be the last major thing. And then I've got to move it down to the water, but I have a little dolly for the back end over here, so I think I'll be able to just wheel it down, grabbing onto the front handles. We'll see. But a big question that I've been asked a couple of times on Facebook when I posted this, and in one of the videos that I did, was how much? And that's almost a little embarrassing to talk about. Keep in mind that I've been looking for about a year on Facebook Marketplace and locally for some kind of a fishing boat, a Lund or something, nothing too big, but I didn't want anything, you know, like a little aluminum runabout. You know, anything half decent that wasn't from the 1980s was $6,000–7,000. Some of them that were a lot less expensive, I was very skeptical about. But then I came upon this. So, what can you do this for? Well, first of all, basically, the base thing is that the boat was $1,199 from Cabela's. I'm glad I got it when I did, which was just a couple of weeks ago, because I'm seeing where they're sold out everywhere. As people have been asking on Facebook, you know, where can I get one? Where can I get one? And people are talking about Academy. They still have them, and I have no idea what that is. We don't have that here. You know, you can also get them, I think, maybe on Amazon, but they're $1,000 more, and it must have to do with the shipping. But they do have, you know, the Prowlers and the Quest, so there are some similar boats like this too that are less by $300 or $400 actually. So $11.99 for this boat when you can get it. Now, what do you need? You probably need a trolling motor and a battery. And I'll get to these in a second, but as far as a trolling motor, this is a 46-pound one. One of these costs about $150 or so if you're not buying them in Coda. And these are the Newports, which, you know, come in a lot less, and they seem to work great. I like them. You know, if you're on a small pond, which is just a few hundreds of feet across, something even smaller would be fine because you don't have that far to go. I have a 4.5-mile lake here, which I'm not going up the whole thing. That would be a lot, but I travel around it. As far as the battery is concerned, yes, I have this huge 200 amp hour lithium battery pack, but you don't need that. Small pond, some small car battery. A larger area, you might want to, you know, get an AGM, maybe at least 100 amps, and that should get you around pretty good. So, boat, battery, motor. Then there's the other stuff. You know, there's another motor up front on this one, and this battery, which is really a workhorse for our camper and the boat. So it does, you know, multiple jobs, costs a lot more. But let's take a look at most of the things that I have added to this and the costs involved with putting them on if you really want to outfit it. And the price can go up dramatically it was still a lot, even though I already had the two motors and I already have the battery, which I kind of didn't count in the cost because I've had these for a few years. It's like old stuff as far as spending is concerned. But even with the other stuff I put on here, it brings the price up quite a bit. So how much, right? It might be a lot more than you think. So let's get into a detailed cost breakdown. Like I said before, the Pelican Bass Raider is $1,199 where I am. You might be able to find one for a little less. I don't know if they ever go on sale, if you can find one. Or you might be able to find a good used one for considerably less. We'll add the potential cost of the motor or motors and the battery at the end. But for now, like I said, I had those, so I will skip those for the moment. The lock-together bats were $26 from Lowe's. They came with enough to do the bottom of the boat. I used 8 48-inch T-tracks, so they go from front to back on the sides of the boat. They came total to $44. Stainless steel screws, size number 620, 3/4 of an inch, $12. A set of T-track bolts and knobs, $10. 20 gauge stranded hookup wire, $15, but there's a lot left. 2 sizes of wire conduit, $20, but there's a lot left of the smaller one. 14 to 16 gauge wire connectors, $9. Heat shrink tubing, $9. Rubber grommet kit, $15, but I only use 4 of them. Inline fuse kit, $8, but I only use 2. Pulling motor connector, a ridiculously priced $10. Waterproof rocker switch box, $54. Yeah, I know, but it looks so good, I just had to have it. Waterproof ATV lights, 12,000 lumens, $19.99. Large 4-inch stainless steel eye bolts, $14. Scotty Universal R5 rod holder, $31. Scotty anchor lock, $35. 5-pound rubber coated mushroom anchor, $25. Large exploding pop rivets, 1/4 inch, $19. Bimini top, $129. 7-amp lithium battery for the fish finder, $21. Plano ammo box for said battery, $8. Tie-down straps for the main battery, $10. A set of stainless steel carabiners, $10. Various nuts, washers, and bolts, cheap by the pound at the salvage store, $5. And expensive items I already had, 202 amps of big battery, lithium, $900, and 2 46-pound thrust electric motors, $300 together. And the magic numbers are, well, so far, the boat, $11.99, parts, not including the motors or the battery, $470. So that total is $1,669, $1,669.
You add the battery I chose for 900 and two Newport 46-pound thrust motors that are $300 for two of them. That's a lot better than the Enduras. And your grand total with everything comes to $2,869. But, like I said, you can choose to do it for much, much less.
So that's a rough breakdown of the costs. There are a lot more incidental costs from, a couple little trips to the hardware store for a few specialized bolts, PVC pipe from a big box store, whatever other materials I had on hand, wire connectors and tape and etc. So there is a little bit more, but that's basically the gist of it. And as you can see, this can really run up much more than the actual cost of the boat itself if you want it to. But like I said earlier, you can keep it really minimal after you purchase the boat, if you should want to. And then leave it as it is if it's good enough for you, or kind of add things as you go along. Because for me, the build is as much fun, or maybe even more fun, than the use of it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you would, I'd appreciate it. And I might produce another video with me dragging this out of here at some point. It's going to be a few days though. Take care.